Ladies and gentlemen, I am Justin George. Welcome to Talking About Balls. It is a special Super Bowl edition because Kyle couldn't join us on Wednesday night, so we wanted to make sure we covered the Super Bowl and get his 2 cents on the Myles Garrett fiasco and all that and more. So we are doing it live. We're going to do a really quick episode, probably like maybe a half hour tops, just to get our picks in and everything. Obviously, Chiefs and Eagles. None of us are fans of either team, so this is all just pretty hoping for a good game type of situation. But we're still going to break it down a little bit, give our 2 cents, and then we're going to talk about the Myles Garrett trade request, at least, and get Kyle's thoughts, because you guys know I went off for about 45 minutes on it, so I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me talking about it. So we'll get George's thoughts, we'll get Kyle's thoughts, and then we'll do a Super Bowl preview. And then we're going to save, obviously the Cavs made a big trade that hopefully is going to help them out for their championship goal. And we are going to talk about that one on Wednesday. So we'll save that. Today is just going to be pretty much football, Myles Garrett, Super Bowl. Other than that, nice, quick, easy Sunday for everybody. So how are you guys doing?
It's been a long 24 hours.
Yeah.
Our one cat, I'll make it quick, but our one cat, Ace, he's 18 years old. But he's been kind of like on a downscale for a while, but nothing like concerning that we had to like rush him to like do anything. Come home last night and he literally can't see shit. Like he's running in the walls. Doesn't know where he's at. Like he can't see anything, and his eyes are like glazed over, they're wide open. Like you can tell he can't see you. So we're like, all right, well, we already know he's sick. So we kind of mentally made the call last night to potentially take him to the vet today to, potentially put him down, because he's already deaf. What life is it for a cat if he's deaf and blind? And it's just not a good life. 18 years, right? It's serious shit. We wake up this morning and motherfucker can see again. Like, I don't know. It's been the weirdest 24 hours. Like he can see our movements. He can see us. He recognizes. He doesn't run into anything anymore. He still doesn't look great, but it's like, I'm not going to now take him to the vet. Like
he can see.
Right. What's the point? So we're kind of just riding it out right now and kind of playing it by ear. So it's going to be a day-by-day thing to see how he does. And we don't know. We looked up a lot of causes last night, like what could cause instant blindness or what could cause temporary blindness in a cat. And it lists everything from a seizure to low blood sugar to whatever. But we left yesterday for 4 hours. We left. He was fine. We came back. He wasn't fine. So we don't know what took place in those 4 hours. But it's been we literally came to the conclusion last night that we were going to lose our cat today. And we wake up this morning and everything seemed like it was before we left last night. So it's been a very weird 24 hours.
Caught a case of the 24-hour Stevie Wonder bug.
Bro, I don't know. It was hard. It's been rough. Like, we got like very little sleep last night. And then we have Super Bowl plans today and stuff. So it's been like what are we doing? What's going on? Like I was full invested in taking the vet at 8 o'clock this morning to kind of go from there. We called the vet at like 1 o'clock this morning. It's like, I don't know. Anyways, so not to be sourful, but that's been kind of like the last day or so for me.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, at least it seems like it got better, so that's good. It could have been worse.
Day by day now, but other than that, no, just work.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Pretty much same with me, just working, and then, a couple birthday parties. We had Phil's 40th last week. I had Con's 40th last night, so lots of birthdays and prepping for Teddy's birthday. That's why I didn't take off for Super Bowl Monday, was because I'm taking off next Monday, the 17th, is Teddy's first birthday. So we're going to be heading out of town on Saturday for her, awesome. Taking her down south, going to Columbus, staying for just the weekend, Saturday, Sunday night, come back Monday. We're going to go to Kosai. We're going to go to the Columbus Aquarium and just do some sightseeing down there, get some good food, just to get away for a weekend, a little trip for her birthday. So looking forward to that. But other than that, it's just work.
Yeah, sucks. But, no, I got thoughts on the Myles Garrett thing. I don't know if you want to jump right into it, but
absolutely. I spewed for a long time about it, and I gave my thoughts. So I'm curious. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, his Radio Row interviews happened the day of our show. So that was really good ammo to like double down on how irritating he was, to me at least.
He was virtually just burning every virtual bridge he had with people. It felt like it felt like it was on purpose. I just want to know what's changed since the end of the season till now. Like, I know the Pro Bowl happened. I know the Pro Bowl. I'm guaranteed at the Pro Bowl, he's probably talking to like other players, other whoever, and just kind of like getting an idea of what's going on for them. And it almost seems like that was a pivot point for his thought process. Like all of a sudden he leaves the Pro Bowl and now it's like, yeah, I kind of want out of Cleveland now, or I don't want to be here. I want to go somewhere else and do run Super Bowls. But I don't know. I'm a little annoyed. Like, we've had his back multiple times with multiple situations. I am not a fan of somebody who commits to a team, verbally in the news, to whatever. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We had talks a couple months ago. We're fine. We're on the same page. I trust Andrew Berry, blah, 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 right? And now all of a sudden it's like a 180. So, no, if I'm the Browns, I'm not trading you. Fuck you. Like, I don't have to trade you. You can sit if you want to. I don't give a shit, but I'm not trading you because that's just crazy. Um, However, the Browns will probably either give in or they'll come to a conclusion where they give him either more money or they have some kind of an agreement where they're like, okay, I'm good now because now I see what they're doing. But I don't know. I just can't get behind getting rid of Myles Garrett, like, because you one day woke up with a temper tantrum and want to throw a fit about it. So no, fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
it's an interesting situation because obviously he's under contract for 2 more years. The Browns can literally tell him, fuck off, you're not going anywhere. They can offer him a huge contract and keep him here for the long term, let him retire a Brown. But at the same time, he is 29 going on 30. The NFL stands for not for long. He is not getting any younger. He's still good. I think he still has a few good years left before he starts to decline because, he's just a specimen. But I do think that if you're going to trade him, now's the time to do it. Now is where you're going to get the absolute most value for him. I know Browns fans don't want to hear that, but honestly, if you feel like you're not going to be contending for a Super Bowl within the next year or two, probably not a bad idea to acquire all those assets, because I feel like he claims they sat down, they talked about their plan, and he doesn't agree with their future plan. The only thing I can think of for this quote-unquote future plan is that they're planning on drafting a quarterback number 2. Rookie quarterbacks have never won a Super Bowl, so they're not going to lie to him and say, yes, our goal next year is a Super Bowl, because if you're drafting a rookie quarterback, your goal shouldn't be a Super Bowl, just being honest. No rookie has ever won one. So you would say maybe year 2, our goal would be to contend for a Super Bowl. And at that point, that's where he's thinking, okay, so I have to now not tank, but I have to waste another year of my career where we're not aiming for a Super Bowl. We're aiming to progress rookies and stuff like that. So I could understand his frustration with that. I totally get that. I feel like the way he did it, though, was such a bitch move. Writing this public letter, knocking Andrew Berry by quoting what he said. I mean, like, Andrew Berry complimented the fuck out of him, saying, we envision him going from Cleveland to Canton, direct line.
Right.
That's a great compliment. You're literally saying, we think he is a first ballot, no question Hall of Famer. And, that's our goal, is to have him play here, continue his Hall of Fame career, and go be a Hall of Famer. For him to use that line as like a negative against Andrew Berry, I thought was really shitty. And as you mentioned, and I mentioned on Wednesday, the things they've backed him up for, and he's now being this disrespectful with the helmet incident, with the car crash incident, where he missed significant time in both of those situations. And the Browns fans stood by him, and we don't bat an eye. They defend him tooth and nail on the internet when it comes to the TJ Watt, Myles Garrett defense or argument. So for him to act like this, and then again to go on Radio Row and like really just disrespect Cleveland and disrespect the Browns and admit that LeBron talked to him, he talked to LeBron about how to leave and
what was
things
the
like
point
that. It's like,
what was the point of saying that?
Yeah, who's his publicist that said this is a good idea to go out there and just make yourself the biggest villain when you're again, it's so fucking minuscule, it doesn't matter, but he's a minority owner of the Cavaliers. He's a big face in Cleveland, Ohio, and for him to just shit on the city basically like he did is just such a weird look. And regardless of what happens to him, I feel like Browns fans deserve to, treat him like shit from now on. And I'm not meaning like going out of their way, but yeah, if there's a play where it looks like he's taking it off, call him out on that, because there are multiple plays where Myles Garrett takes off. If he doesn't feel like hustling, he won't hustle for a play or two. And we've all seen it, but we just kind of let it go because he's Myles Garrett. Now I feel like it's time for him to nut up or shut up, and I feel like Browns fans now can hold a little fire under his ass.
Do you think it's posturing by him? Like, you think he's just doing this to try to get something back from the Browns, or do you think he truly just, he's done? Like, even if we don't trade him, he's just going to sit out?
No, I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would waste his career because, like I said, the Browns have him under contract. If he wants to sit out and cost himself millions, because he'll get fined for not coming to camp and not coming to practice. So he'll get fined. He'll lose all of his contract money if he doesn't play. The Browns have him for 2 more years under contract. Then they could technically franchise tag him if they wanted to. So he really has no leverage in the situation. That's why I think he's going full scorched earth. And he's being a giant piece of shit because he wants to basically, like you said, burn every bridge on the way out, because he knows that asking for a trade, they said no, which is what I think happened the first time. I think what happened was they talked to him behind the scenes, and he came out and said, everything's good. I like it here in Cleveland. Maybe that was just him posturing. Maybe that was him just trying to not raise any red flags. So he was maybe they said, we'll call some people, we'll see what we can do. Then maybe they came back and said, listen, we're not trading you. It's not worth it for us. It costs $40 million in dead cap money if we trade you before the draft. The return we're getting is just not worth it for us. We're not trading you. And then that's maybe when he decided to go, fuck it, I'm writing this letter. I'm going to talk shit on Radio Row. I want them to basically have to trade me, is what I kind of think he's doing. He's kind of becoming a disgruntled employee. But from the Browns, fuck you. You're not going anywhere. You're under contract. You can lose all your money and lose 2 years of your NFL career, or you can come play for the team you signed a contract for. Up to you.
Yeah, I mean, they can't move him. The problem is he's a $39 million dead cap hit. And the only teams that could literally not bat an eyelash is only the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Commanders. And that's a big if they want that. The Patriots won't do it. They have way too many holes to fill. With a lot of that money, they're going to go shopping elsewhere. The Raiders is just a complete dumpster fire, and Al Davis, Junior, isn't going to fill that player. The Commanders don't have as much. They would be the only team, and because they may be the only team that could literally, flash, a little less than half of what they've got available, he has no leverage still even in that game. And the Browns can't turn around and afford that $40 million dead. And next year's is $27 million dead. So
I could trade him after June 1st, and that would cut into that significantly.
Yeah.
But at that point, I feel like, why make the trade? You're setting yourself up for future draft picks where it's, if you're not getting a pick for this year, there's no sense in trading him.
And you're going to want a one. You're totally going to want
multiple, in my opinion. You're going to want at least two. You're going to want a couple, mid-round picks, a couple pick swaps, maybe a player or two. So I feel like doing it on June 1st really doesn't help the situation for the Browns. If you're not getting picks for this current year, then there's no point in doing it. And I don't think they'll trade him before this draft because of that dead cap money. So I feel like, again, he has no leverage. There's literally no way the Browns can get rid of him.
Agreed. He's just going to have to sit there, cry like a little baby, and suck it up.
Yeah, I feel like he really made himself look terrible. And again, he has huge standards to meet next year for Browns fans, because I feel like they're gonna let him have it. I'd be really upset if he kind of tarnishes his legacy as a player by half-assing, and maybe injuries he used to play through in the past he decides to not play through anymore. I feel like that would really be a bad look for him. But we'll see what happens.
Steve Podesta is kicked out of the building. I'm with you.
Yeah. As of right now, he doesn't have a contract, so that's good news.
Yes. Baseball stuff does not work in football.
Even if we do trade him, then the Browns. I mean, I can't believe the Browns would let him know that we're drafting a quarterback. I can't believe we're drafting a quarterback if that's what they did. But I mean, I still think they need to go defense first round, put someone around him, and go from there. But if we do trade him, you have to go defense the first one.
And you know what? I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they did tell him that. Maybe they said, we're drafting Abdul Carter. Hey, what's up, Dave? Thanks for checking in, man. Maybe they told him, hey, we're looking at. Oh, I just saw Dave's comment. Sorry about that. I always forget to click on that.
I did too.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe they said that they have. They're taking Abdul Carter, maybe, and he's worried that they're drafting my replacement. So maybe he got pissed off about that. Maybe they said we're bringing in, Cousins, whomever, a veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, whoever. They're bringing in a veteran quarterback. We're going to draft Abdul Carter because he's the best player available. We think he'll be there at 2 because we expect Cam Ward to go number 1. And maybe he hears that and he goes, I don't think that's a recipe for success. I don't see that winning us a championship. I want out. You're drafting my replacement. I don't know. Maybe he's bitter about that. And I truly don't understand it. Again, I said this all on Wednesday, so I'm, regurgitating everything I already said. But for him to go out there and say the Browns haven't done enough to help him win while they've gotten him to the playoffs twice in the last 5 years. Last year, he won Defensive Player of the Year. We were 11-6. We were in the playoffs, game 1 against the Texans, and Myles Garrett sucked. His stats were terrible. They easily game planned against him. He was a non-factor.
Yeah.
And for him to come out and say that they're not doing enough to put him in a position to win Super Bowls, step 1 for winning a Super Bowl is make the playoffs. Check. They did that. Step 2, win a playoff game. Didn't do that. Not for lack of effort. Actually, it kind of looked like there wasn't an effort on defense that game, but that's a huge part of Myles Garrett. I've also heard from multiple former players that played in Cleveland that have all, I ignored it at the time, but a lot of them have come out and said that Myles Garrett's not a good leader. He sits in meetings with his head down, plays on his phone, doesn't take notes. He just shows up and plays. So for him to come out and say the Browns aren't doing enough for him and he's, has a lot of negative press coming out about him is interesting. Dave, I disagree. I think Abdul Carter's going to be pretty good. He is the exact same. He's identical to Micah Parsons. They are the exact same size. They have the same type of mechanics, the same game style. I feel like watching him, and I watch a lot of college football, watching him all year, and especially watching him in the playoffs where he really stepped up with a shoulder injury and he was all over the field. He can cut through blocks. He can get to the ball really quickly. I think he's going to be really good. I'm a big Abdul Carter fan. But we'll see what happens with the Browns. Right
there too. It's just a no-brainer. If you're going to stay at 2, draft him. If you're not going to draft a quarterback, then drop the fuck out of there. I mean, you're not. There's no point. There's nobody worth going as a quarterback that high, especially this year. Screw it. And as long as you're not dropping too far, if there's a team that loves Shedeur Sanders and they're offering you a huge package, I would trade back. I wasn't on the number 4 train. Oh,
who Miles? Yeah. I keep seeing that. I know, Dave, you commented that on Facebook the other day too. Everyone's saying that it's Deshaun Watson's fault that Miles wants out now. That doesn't make any sense. The Deshaun Watson era is finished in Cleveland, so he's leaving now because Deshaun Watson's no longer going to be the quarterback. Doesn't really make sense. That's a bad argument from people that I've been seeing. They're like, Deshaun Watson ruined the Browns. He's not even going to play next year. He double tore his Achilles, so he's not playing at all. And then when he comes back in the year 2026, maybe he's not playing for the Cleveland Browns. So really, Deshaun Watson is a non-factor in this whole situation. If Myles Garrett didn't want to play because of Deshaun Watson, he would have requested a trade last year or the year before, not now when he's not even going to be on the team. So I don't agree with that.
I kind of just want Winston to come back because watching him the last week or so with the NFL coverage has been like golden TV. I know it quarterback-wise, but he's amazing behind the mic. If he doesn't play more football, if he doesn't get an NFL like commentator or NFL like personality contract, I would be highly shocked.
I feel like he'll be working for Barstool in like no time. The second he retires, he's going to get hired.
He's been hilarious. The one where the other day he tried to go get on the yacht and him just sitting there talking to people as they walk by. He's good on the mic.
I feel like he's a little too wacky for ESPN to hire, but I don't know. It'll depend on how ESPN is. Browns brass still want Watson. That's not true, Dave. They're bringing in a new quarterback this year. It's over. Jameis is a little too like crazy and religious with some of his pep talks. So I'm curious if I could see ESPN being like, yeah, we don't really want that. We want to stay as neutral as possible. So he'd be good for an internet company where he can do whatever he wants. I like Jameis. I wouldn't hate him to come back to Cleveland as the veteran quarterback on this team. Truthfully, he showed that he can be successful, but obviously he has his downfalls. And I feel like any quarterback you get is going to have that same issue, whether it's, I'm just speaking out loud of quarterbacks that I know will be available. Daniel Jones can be good, but has his limitations. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers is more than likely going to be released. Kirk Cousins, all these guys, same thing. You're going to get some good flashes out of them probably, but you're also going to have some really down moments, and that's just going to come with the territory of picking up a veteran quarterback who's available. So that's why drafting a rookie or whatever they end up doing is still pretty important. I don't love this quarterback class. We've said it 1,000 times. Gruden and Winston and Barstool. That would actually be funny. I would enjoy that. Those two would be good together.
Gruden's hilarious. The other day he's in there in the back room of some place. He's like, man, how have I fallen? I make multi-million dollars in these high places. Now I'm here trying to beg for a turkey sandwich with you guys. I know he's getting paid okay with Barstool, but it's just funny.
Yeah, it's funny that he's at least can be like a little self-deprecating about the whole situation. Yeah. Funny. All right, everybody. Well, that Myles Garrett, the situation is fluid right now. We'll wait and see what happens with it. I think all of us are pretty much on the same page that the Browns, if they trade him, I understand, as long as they get a good haul. And if they don't trade him, that makes perfect sense to me as well. I also feel like he's made himself an enemy. At the end of the day, I said it on Wednesday, I root for the front of the jersey. I don't root for the back. I love Myles Garrett as long as he's a Cleveland Brown. If he goes somewhere else, I will happily be rooting against him. That's totally fine with me. But let's get right into it with our Super Bowl preview. We're going to give our picks. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Tell us what are you guys doing for the game today? We'll go one by one. We'll start off with George. What's everybody's plans for the Super Bowl?
Right now, I'm just chilling. I am hanging out at the house and Kelly wants to make our friend's recipe of German tomato soup.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to, because I haven't had that in a long time. And
That's
Kelly
good.
got it
That
for
sounds
my
pretty
friend,
good.
and I was like, yum, all right.
Yeah.
Get some of those Red Lobster cheddar biscuits, and
Cheddar Bay
Oh.
biscuits are the good stuff.
it's on.
Nice.
So looking forward to that later. No fried foods. It's kind of going to be that opposite of what do you have for your Super Bowl party? Oh, guess
Soup
what?
is not normally on the menu for the Super Bowl, but I like it. It's a nice little change up.
Yep. Going to be some good stuff, and just chilling at the house here. It's going to be a long day tomorrow.
Hell yeah, that's good. Kyle, what are you doing?
We are going to Mike's house to watch the game. It's kind of our tradition. That's like 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th year in a row now.
Jeez, yeah, that's about right.
But I make a whole sheet of prop bets. So I did that this morning. Make up our own prop bets. So I do like pregame, during the game, commercials, halftime show. We snuck in a Taylor Swift prop bet in there somewhere, so it's kind of fun. Everyone pays in $5. We do squares. Before we go over there, though, we're going up the road to our neighborhood bar here. They're having a party, so we're going to stop up, say hi, have a pre-drink, and then head over to Mike and Colleen's. We're making veggie pizza and trying to make meatballs right now, but our slow cooker's not working, so we're trying to find another slow cooker. But a lot of food: pizza, wings, meatballs, veggie pizza.
The classic Super Bowl spread.
Classic Super Bowl spread. So yeah.
What's your craziest prop bet you got going?
What's that?
What's your craziest prop bet you got going?
Nothing crazy. I mean, I basically just go pregame, like how long's, over under, how long
How long's the anthem going to be?
With this guy, is he going to play the piano or not? Because he's pretty good at playing the piano. Just during the game, some prop bets for player bets, and then during the commercial, like what's the first commercial after kickoff? What's the brand going to be? What's the first car going to be? What's the first beer commercial going to be? Stuff like that, just fun. And then we do points at the end of the night. Whoever has the most successful or most correct gets it. The one I normally spend a lot of time in the halftime show trying to figure out songs, but I'm not a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, so I basically just said how many songs.
I don't know any because I've heard a couple of his songs, but I don't even know the name of them. I know the "You're Not Like Us" or something like that. His song about Drake. Like I've heard it bits and pieces. I've never heard the whole thing. He just won a Grammy for it.
I like that song. I think it's hilarious that he won a Grammy on a diss track, which is probably the first time in history a diss track's won a Grammy. So I mean, sucks for Drake, right? And the entire Super Bowl is going to be sang with him basically getting dissed in front of millions of people. But
for Ice Cube, because I think Ice Cube deserved a Grammy for No Vaseline when he wrote that song about NWA. That's the best diss song in history, in my opinion. And the fact that he didn't win a Grammy for that, but this one did, is disrespectful to Ice Cube.
But no, it's a fun sheet. So we do that. We do squares and stuff. So it's a good time, And I'm sure I'll have way too many things to drink, but typical Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, I'm having my father-in-law's coming over to watch the game. I'm going to make some popcorn. Tara's making buffalo chicken dip. We're going to order some food, and then I as much as I would love to, drink a ton, I have to get up at 3:00 in the morning for my flight, so I can't exactly enjoy my night as much as I used to.
Yeah. Sucks.
I have to be at the airport at like 4:30 to make sure I get my flight, so that sucks.
Ooh.
So the funny thing is my boss is from Brazil, so like he doesn't care about the Super Bowl. And the salesperson whose customer this is, she's from Germany, but she's been in America now for 10 years, married an American husband and everything. And she's unfortunately going to be in Colorado this weekend. She already had a vacation plan, so she was supposed to go with me, but she can't. So I'm going by myself. And she came into my office right away after the plan came to fruition, and she's like, I went right in there and I told Andre, how could you make him fly the day after the Super Bowl? And he was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. It's exciting for me.
I totally forgot. Usually I take Super Bowl Monday off too. And oops.
I never do because I just feel like, it is what it is. I'll just show up and kind of slack off and get through the day. But no, I actually have to be productive tomorrow. It sucks.
Tomorrow's not a travel day for me. I'm working local, so I'm not too worried about tomorrow. I travel again out Wednesday, but I'm not too worried about it.
The beautiful thing about it now is they start the game earlier. So, 6:30 start. The game should be over about 10:00 ish, which isn't terrible. I'll go right to bed as soon as the game ends, and I'll be fine.
Right, for sure. But yeah, no, it's our plan. That's our plan tonight, at least.
Not bad. All right, well, let's get right into it. Let's give our picks, reasons why you're making that pick. And if you have a favorite bet of the night, throw it in there. I have a couple myself. I'll start. I'm going for my bets. I like a little parlay. I don't know what it's going to be right now. I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to go with a Saquon Barkley and Kareem Hunt, both anytime touchdown scorer parlay. They're both probably pretty heavy favorites to score touchdowns. So if you parlay them, it might make it a little more profitable for you. So I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to keep it nice and easy, at least on that. I'll make some other prop bets for like yards and shit like that, but I haven't even looked at them yet. Another bet that FanDuel has that I really like, just to throw a little pocket change on, is they have at plus 7,000. They have Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes to each get 5 yards rushing in each quarter. Easier said than done, but I feel like it's possible for only 5 yards each. All it takes is one scramble and
for plus 7,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
everyone in the comments were saying that. They're like, I'll throw $20 on that, whatever. So I think it's worth a little pocket change.
Ooh.
It's not
So
bad.
that's what I'm going to be making. I'll throw $5-10 on it just for shits and giggles. I think it's interesting. My overall pick for the game, though, I am, of course, I say it every year. It feels like it's repetitive at this point. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is going to be a fucking fantastic game. The key to victory for the Chiefs is to shut down the run. I think they can handle the pass. They're pretty good in the secondary, but the biggest question is going to be, can they slow down Saquon Barkley, who's been playing like a man possessed? You have to shut down Barkley, and you really have to contain Jalen Hurts, because if Jalen Hurts gets loose, he can pick up a ton of yards. The tush push is almost unstoppable. So if Steve Spagnuolo can get that defense to shut down the run game for the Eagles, I think the Chiefs can win this game pretty handedly. I'm not saying blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like they can win the game confidently. For the Eagles, in order for them to win, I think it does rely on Saquon Barkley, and they have to contain Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes is a fucking wizard back there. He can get anybody going, whether you think we're going to lock in on Travis Kelce today, we're going to shut him down, make sure he doesn't do anything. He'll beat you with Xavier Worthy. He'll beat you with Noah Gray. He'll beat you with all these guys you never heard of. So Eagles really just have to contain Mahomes first and foremost. I expect a lot of blitzes from Philadelphia, because that helped with the Buccaneers. When the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, they blitzed like crazy. Patrick Mahomes still was able to make some good plays, but it just wasn't enough. And that's why defensively it's huge for the Chiefs. Shut down the run game. And I think the Chiefs are going to be Super Bowl 59 champions. I don't bet against Mahomes. So that's my pick for tonight.
I like it. My prop bet I'm putting together is an anytime touchdown for Kelce and an anytime touchdown for Barkley. I think Super Bowl, Kelce tends to show up a little bit sometimes, right? So I think he gets a touchdown with Barkley. There was a bet I put on the prop sheet that I did today was, will there be a push touchdown today? So I put it on there like a yes or no, pick it if you want to. But no, I like that bet for 5 yards a quarter. I think it's very, very attainable. I think their lines today, if I'm not mistaken, Hurts line is like 39 and a half. And I think Mahomes is like 27 or 28 and a half. So, I mean,
yeah, so easily doable.
With five a quarter. So it's not a bad bet to throw money at. But I think the Eagles take this one. I think I hate betting against the Chiefs, because God knows it's like built into my memory just to bet the Chiefs. I have to go along with your storyline that Barkley's just playing like a man possessed, because that dude's unstoppable right now. And even when you plan for him, which I assume the last two teams that played the Eagles tried to plan to stop Barkley, it just doesn't happen, right? He finds a way. And I think he's going to find a way here. I think the Chiefs' run defense is not as good as their pass defense. And I think they take advantage of that. I think that Barkley has a game. I even bet him over. I think I bet him over 150 and just one-off bet to see if he gets. I think he can easily get that.
All it takes is a couple big runs. Yeah, he can get like a 60, 70 yarder, and that's huge
Absolutely.
chunk right there.
The trick to Eagles though is going to be what Hurts shows up. Hurts isn't 100% healthy right now. Hurts is hurt, right? But is he going to play? Is he going to get the ball out there, or is he going to play protective? Is he going to play scared, right? If he goes out there and slings the ball, he has offensive weapons to get him to. Smith, you got Brown. I mean, you have your tight end. I think the Eagles do win this one. Again, I think it's going to, like you said, it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to the end. If it comes down to the end and it's a tied football game, then fuck it, the Chiefs are going to win. It's
Mahomes.
Even if Mahomes only has 50 seconds, he's taking the ball down the field in 2 plays and they're kicking a field goal. So, but no, I think the Eagles win this one. So, hoping for a good game. Halftime's going to suck.
Commercials, good halftime show. I don't know Kendrick Lamar, but I hope the halftime show's entertaining.
I did see the preview of the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, which I'm pretty fucking excited about. I stay
away from all commercial previews. I just want to see them for the first time tonight.
Well, it wasn't like a preview, but it was like a preemptive of like who's in it. So obviously,
Okay. I didn't even see that.
I think Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck in, right? And then there's another person that they're adding that was like a secret person they're adding to the show. Did the commercial, so I'm excited because last year those Dunkin' commercials were hilarious.
They were the funniest ones in my opinion, with those tracksuits. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm kind of excited to see.
I know Chipper's looking forward to the halftime show. That's for sure.
What's that?
I said I know Chipper's looking forward to the halftime show. That's for sure.
He'll be there tonight, I'm sure. So I can't wait to ask him everything about every song that's being sang, so he can tell me all the details.
It's funny you mentioned the tush push because I wanted to mention there's another bet that FanDuel's doing. They're getting so specific with their bets that they have a over under 2.5 times. Will there be a play where Jalen Hurts has to rush to get a first down with less than 2 yards or something like that? They have a specific bet up there for Jalen Hurts to get a tush push more than 2 or 3 times.
I like it.
It's interesting. I forgot the odds, but I saw it and I was like, damn, they're getting super specific.
Who did you pick in your kick of destiny, Eli or Peyton?
I took Eli.
I think it has to be Eli, and I don't know if it's rigged or pre-planned, anyways. But all these commercials,
I'm sure they already recorded it. I think it's done.
Everything's leaning towards Eli because he's the underdog. He's never beat Peyton heads up, so I think this is where he beats Peyton heads up. Is the kick of destiny? Or
yeah, I foresee. I can't imagine Peyton Manning being good at kicking. I don't know why. He just doesn't look like he can do it. He looks a little stiff. Not that Eli Manning is any type of fucking athletic superstar, but he looks a little bit more limber.
Eli's more athletic than Peyton for sure, but I think it's interesting. But yeah, no, I think I got Eli. I picked that one too, so that's going to be interesting. What about you, George?
What about you? What are your thoughts, my friend?
Eagles 34, Chiefs 30.
Okay, close one.
I think the Chiefs have the Eagles have the ball last, and they're the ones who scored the touchdown with just a few seconds left. And it's like, sorry about your luck, Patrick, but that that three-peat, I guess the NFL, there's a reason why it hasn't happened yet. So
it's funny because of all the people that are believers of the conspiracy theory that the Chiefs get all the calls, and everyone's saying that because they were scrutinized so much over the last 2 weeks because of the Bills game, the NFL is going to make sure that the Eagles win tonight. And it's like it's such bullshit. I don't believe in those conspiracy theories. It's just funny.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be consistent score each quarter. There'll be some scoring, so it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a lull by any stretch.
Yeah,
pretty solid. To keep everybody really interested the whole time. So, yeah, I think it's going to be.
I'm hoping just for a good game. Give me good game, good entertainment, great commercials. That's all I care about. All right, everybody. Well, this was a nice little over a half hour, just like we predicted. Get a little Super Bowl preview in, and then we will have so much more to talk about on Wednesday. We're going to wrap up the Super Bowl, or recap, I should say. We're going to recap the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about all the trades that happened in the NBA, specifically DeAndre Hunter is now a Cleveland Cavalier. He will be making his debut for the Cavs tomorrow night. And all that and more. We have plenty to talk about. Maybe we'll see if there's any new updates with Myles Garrett or anything happening in the NFL, because, once the season ends, it's all bets are off. The floodgates are opening. So we will talk about all that and more tomorrow, Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, if you guys can, check out George's show, Dueling Aces, 9 o'clock on look at his Facebook page. He'll be plugging his show. Hopefully he can get it going tomorrow. Depending on when I get home, if I don't pass out immediately, I'll hop on and say hello if I can. I'll let you know. I might literally come home and collapse into my bed. So we'll see.
Right? All that jet lag. That's a lot. That's a lot of flying for one day.
Yeah, I've done this trip probably 4 or 5 times already. I'm comfortable with it. I'm familiar with it, but it's still just it's a tiring day. Even though you're just sitting on a plane, it still makes you tired. So we'll see what happens. But that's all I got. Anything else from you guys?
Nope. I'll be on Wednesday. I might be a little late because I'll be driving to Cincy Wednesday afternoon. So I might be just jumping right when I get to the hotel, but I'll be on Wednesday. Okay. Just keep me posted. We'll figure out if we do a later start. That's no big deal.
And I'm actually going to be on with Sam Nelson, who is from 609 Sports Talk here, probably about 3:30-ish.
Today?
For a one of one. Yep. So I'm actually, my microphone is not going to be
getting a little used today.
it will be getting a lot of use today for sure, as well as our square board sold out. So yeah, I'm a part of the boards for George, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I get a win because I have never won a square. I don't think in my life. I've been doing them almost every year since I've been an adult. I don't think I've ever won.
I have bad luck.
Real quick before we go, Chipper last night won a full-size Derrick Henry helmet with a visor on it, signed.
Chipper did?
Yeah, it's back-to-back ones. He won a Houston Texans. Who's the receiver for the Texans?
Stephon Diggs. Yeah,
Nico Collins?
He won a Diggs one last week too.
Diggs.
Yeah.
Jesus, good for him. What does he do with all that stuff? He always wins Nick Chubb. He always picks Nick Chubb items, which I'm assuming he gives to Mike.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so he picks Nick Chubb items, and then he always gets like random shit. Like, what's he going to do with a Derrick Henry, and what's he going to do with a Stephon Diggs? Like,
He already sold the Diggs, I think, and
he sells them. Okay,
yeah, you can probably get like $500-$600 for the Henry too, depending on the collection, because it's nice. Like it's a blackout helmet, like with the visor on it.
is it a Ravens helmet or a Titans?
The Ravens helmet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So-
mine's covered up with the two jerseys back there, but I got that Dante Hall, and it says the jersey on it. It's signed by him, so it's those it's really cool.
Arguably the second best return man in NFL history, right behind Josh Cribbs.
There wouldn't be a Josh Cribbs without this guy.
I knew that would get a good look from George. It took him a second to digest it. All right, everybody. We are going to sign off of here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Enjoy the bad food. Hopefully you guys don't get too much heartburn. And we will see you on Wednesday night. So thank you for watching. And Cleveland, this was for you.